You're Bubba, right?
Yes, sir.
I thought so.
How are you?
My name's Joe. Can you step over here a little bit just so I don't get people all triggered and upset?
Oh, yeah.
Do you mind if I ask you a hard question?
Well, let's see. Yeah.
Feel free. I mean, okay, so here we are. This is Bubba Smith.
What are you filming for?
I'm an independent.
Okay.
I'm just doing my own thing on my own channel.
Okay.
I have a lot of conservative friends that don't want to come down and be a part of this.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get the real story.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you a chance to, straight on. I'm not going to assume things. I'm just going to straight ask you.
All right.
So how do you feel and how would you, okay, you represent the entire Yamhill County
I'm a
residents.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's a vast majority of people that don't agree with this. So what would you say to them now that you're here being a part of this? I think that's a pretty unbiased question.
Sure. I think that, everybody's entitled to their right and opinions about, our president.
Okay.
Whether your opinion with Bush or Reagan or, Obama or whoever it is, everyone's entitled to have their opinion.
And that's actually written in our Constitution, so you can't argue that.
You can't argue it, yeah. And so I think that, this is a demonstration of people who are frustrated with the current state of how they feel they're being treated. So.
Okay, can you give an example of how they feel they're being treated wrongly?
Well, for me, in my position, we're seeing a lot of the federal states, our states' rights being attacked. And I believe that is a conservative stance, right? Is states' rights, local control, so on and so forth, right? And so now a lot of our funding is being held hostage because of our state's sanctuary state status.
Okay, so
that gets really hard, right, for me to do my job because we're dependent on that pass-through funding from the federal government to the state then to us. So.
Okay, truth be told, I work not directly, but I'm adjacent to an organization that receives federal funding, and so I kind of understand that argument.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not arguing, but how would you answer? Because from our perspective, and I'm going to say, all right, I don't speak for everybody, but from the conservative perspective, we feel like if you say that we want to handle our own, we want to keep it in-house, we want to do our own thing, okay? As a person that does certain things that I do, I understand that completely.
Yeah.
I don't like her. So, we believe in handling things in-house.
Sure.
But what about when it gets to the point where half of your constituency feels like it's not being handled in a proper way? So they have to go above your head. Is kind of you follow what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm saying that exactly properly, but
for me that's what the ballot box is for, right? If I'm misreading the room, if I'm not hearing my constituents, if I'm not being, and I'm not paying attention, I don't take the time to talk to somebody that might not have the same position as me.
Which I'm going to state on the record. I appreciate you talking to me.
Right. Then I don't belong to be in this position, I believe, right? And I would always leave room to change my mind, right? Before I make that decision. So.
But okay, so let's say a specific incident. Obviously, we don't have it as in-depth reaching here. We're a little bit away from the fray, so to speak. I was at the ICE facility last weekend.
Okay.
What would you say? Because you say that the federal people are standing in, and I'm gathering from what you're saying that you don't agree with that.
Yeah.
The ballot box does not stop what's going on McAdam.
Well, then no, it doesn't. You got to wait 4 years, or if we're talking about me, well, I'm on the same cycle, right? So me and President Trump, we're on the same. You got to wait 3.5 more years, right? That's
but let's say somehow it comes to 5th Street.
Sure.
And we have.
And you have National Guard.
The three months. Of rioting and not necessarily. I know the argument it's not a riot. The general nuisance, lawlessness, interrupting a neighborhood, terrorizing people that live there. Let's say it happens on 5th Street.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not.
Are you going to feel bad about the federal government wanting to step in and help quell something that obviously is either outside of the want or outside of the ability of local government to contain?
I think you have to pay attention to what local government is saying as well, right? And if we want to have police, back our police, right? Then I'm going to work with our sheriff and say, what where do you need, what do you need from me in order for your deputies to be safe, in order for these things to happen. If this is out of control, then there's levers we can pull, right? But I don't need somebody to dictate to me what it is my job is.
Okay, but we're in the unique position in Portland where the mayor is the police commissioner.
Yeah.
There is no going above his head. It is all run from Portland City Hall, and Portland City Hall is incredibly corrupt, incredibly biased, incredibly leaning. I know this from personal experience, and they're ignoring the general population of their constituency. Like I said, again, I don't know if I'm using the right words. I'm off the cuff here. In favor of a small minority of people that don't seem to care about the rule of law or consideration for other residents or anything like that. Again, if it happened here,
I'm not one to. I think that we get the right to protest, whichever you want.
Agree.
Right? I'm not one that typically shows up to a protest. It's not usually my style, right? I'd rather work behind the scenes.
But you're here at this one, so you obviously must feel very strongly about this.
I do feel strongly about this one. And so where I start to have a problem is that where do marginalized communities are being affected, and the livability of every constituent is important, right? And so
that includes career criminals.
No, that's not what I said, but this war between the federal and our state government, and I'd be happy to hold the state government accountable as well for this.
I don't think you have an issue. Our state government's on your side.
It's not my side. No, it's not my side. I have
they agree with you.
No, well, I mean, I have an extreme problem.
Tina Kotek is at one of these rallies somewhere, probably.
But I have an extreme problem with how she has handled this, right, and how. This last long session, right? It kind of gets a both-way street, right? It's now.
So even people on your side of the aisle, which I mean, obviously you're in a nonpartisan position,
right?
So it's hard to say your side of the aisle.
And I'm a non-affiliated voter.
Okay,
right? So
but yet people with your point of view are not happy with her as well. It's not just conservatives.
Well, I'm not. I can't speak for everybody, right?
Well, your general feeling on it. I understand. I won't hold you to it, but your general feeling.
And I'd like to make it clear too that I'm here today as me, right? Not as county commissioner, but as.
But that's a hard. You got to admit that's a hard fine line. You know what I mean?
It is a hard line. Yeah, people recognize me and know who I am, and that's.
I recognize you as soon as you get out of your car. I'm like, oh shit, there's Bubba.
yeah, and I'm aware of that. So, yeah, but hey, I appreciate.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you get to your thing. I appreciate you taking time to.
Yeah, of course. Here. My name is Bubba King. I'm here today not as a politician, but as.
Let me see if I can get a little closer. Maybe you can hear him.
Someone who believes that this is worth fighting for. I'm proud to stand here today with Marvin Bernards and with all of you, because what's at stake here is right now is nothing less than our freedom, our dignity, and our future. We're living in a time when laws are being written to divide us. Leaders look away while families are being targeted. And when too many people mistake silence for neutrality. Let's be clear, this isn't politics, this is people's lives. When undocumented workers live in fear being torn from their families, that's not policy, that's cruelty. When LGBTQ kids are told to hide who they are, that's not debate, that's dehumanization. And when those in power stay silent, they're not neutral, they're complicit. Let's talk about what keeps us moving. It's the undocumented immigrants who pick our graves, milk
If anybody's
our
watching, tell me if you can hear him speaking.
Our small businesses alive at every level. They are not outsiders. We are neighbors. We're co-workers. And they are the backbone, I believe, of where we live. And to the LGBTQ community, You belong here.
Yeah.
You matter. You deserve safety and respect, not suspicion or shame. Because when the rights of our friends are taken away, your rights are at risk too.
Yep.
And to those who had the privilege of safety and comfort, it's time to step off the sidelines. If you've never had to worry about being profiled or deported or targeted for who you are, then this is the moment you stand up. We all know this, and this should be common sense, but here we are. Freedom only works when it belongs to everyone. Justice only matters when it's shared. If we don't defend the rights of the most vulnerable, none of our rights are secure. We cannot afford leaders who look away just because the pain isn't their own. We cannot afford boards that put politics over people. We need majorities across this county that put the rights and safety of marginalized people first, before their comfort, before their donors, and before their careers. Because this is where we draw the line. No more looking away. No more tolerance for hate dressed up as policy. No more pretending freedom isn't selective. Not under my watch, not here, not ever again. Because we are Yamhill County, and when one of us stands up, we all rise. Bring up Marvin. Thank you guys.
Good morning, friends.
Be nice to him.
I hope that public speaking is one of the biggest things that I need improvement on. Good morning, friends. My name's Marvin Bernards, and I'm proud to be from right here in Yamhill County. My family's farmed this land for 5 generations. And I'm running for county commissioner because I believe that this place, our home, is worth fighting for. Let's talk about where we've been. Let's talk about where we've been. Our county's been divided, not by its people, but by its politics. We've watched a small circle of power treat our county government like it's their private clubhouse. Now, I'm not naming names, but if you've ever wondered who's really pulling the strings around here, well, let's say the puppet master isn't hard to spot. What I've seen is a style of leadership built on control, not collaboration, on fear, not facts, on loyalty tests instead of listening to people. And the results? Harm, division. A county that feels like it's fighting itself instead of fighting for its future. We're still undoing the damage left by decisions that put politics over people. Someone we just voted out last November for change, and now we see on the board decisions that broke that trust, that divided neighbors, and that made government less accountable to the folks who pay the bills. And here's the good news. We can change that. We have a chance right now to rebuild a board that actually serves the public. That means voting out those who sit in silence while the work piles up. Those who vote in lockstep with the same failed agenda, but never seem to have a word to say for themselves. But let's be honest. There's nothing worse than someone sitting in a position of privilege, staying silent while others do harm. Silence isn't neutrality, it's compliance. And it takes zero courage to sit quietly while your neighbors struggle. No more of that. No more nice guys who smile, stall while families can't afford rent. Farmers can't find help. Small businesses can't keep up. We need people who get things done for everyone trying to make it in this county. I'm not running to be part of the noise. I'm running to bring back government that listens, that leads, and that works. A county where decisions are made in the open, not behind closed doors. Where accountability matters more than politics. Where decency isn't optional, it's expected. Because Yamhill County isn't broken, it's being tested. And the way we pass that test is by choosing leaders who believe in something bigger than themselves. This is our home. Let's reclaim it, repair it, and rebuild it together.